So, New Hampshire just happened yesterday, and let me just gotta say, man, this race was long. 6 hours of racing, man. 6 hours. From dry to damp to wildness. Christopher Bell gets it done. He gets his third win of the season. He is now second in the playoff standings. So, yeah, guys, last yesterday's race, I almost said last night. Yesterday, um, man, NASCAR raced the Cup Series race in New Hampshire, and yeah, the weather was a big factor. We had an over 2 hour red flag. So yeah, if I remembered, I'm like 6 hours away from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So yeah, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and basically tell you guys about this race and just tell you guys in my opinion, like how I feel like this race was. So stage one was won by Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell, he owns New Hampshire. Like he swept the weekend, won the Xfinity, and now the Cup race. His last Cup Series win came a couple years ago, and the Gen 7 debut season. So congratulations to Christopher Bell. He owns New Hampshire. Um, so yeah, guys. And stage two was won by Denny Hamlin. And my guy, unfortunately, when we put on the wet weather tires, no, he just fell back. He ended up finishing outside the top 20. And Bubba Wallace, he ended up getting involved in that big wreck that happened in the final stage when they put on those wet weather tires. Um, and I don't really think we even saw like a truly green flag run. There were cautions, there were drivers spinning out, trying to find grip. Like especially on the first restart on those wet weather tires, everyone was trying to find grip. Like everyone was trying to find grip. So everyone was just trying to find grip and just who just has it and restarts. Man, they were crazy on the first one. Five wide, we saw five wide. And I gotta talk to you guys about Kyle Busch this season. It just keeps getting worse for him. It really is getting worse and worse for this guy, and it's not all on him. Look what Austin Dillon's doing. He's doing not so good either as well. He's like 30th in the standings. So it's not all on Kyle Busch. It's just the equipment. The equipment is not good at RCR right now. Like I said, I predicted him to win 3 races this year and make the playoffs. At this point, he's in a must-win situation, almost in a must-win situation. Going to be in a must-win situation if he keeps doing this, keeps performing like this. So he might miss the playoffs. And at this rate, I don't think he's making the playoffs this year. I'm sorry, Kyle Busch fans, but I don't think he's making the playoffs this year. I don't. I mean, the last win I predicted Kyle Busch to win out of 3 wins this season was the Brickyard 400. Was the Brickyard 400, and I don't even know. I don't think he's gonna perform well at that race either. So yeah, yeah, and the racing, like I said, was really good. If I have to give this race a score, 8 out of 10. So yeah, I give this race an 8 out of 10. It was really interesting to see, especially with NASCAR putting on those wet weather tires. I literally thought this race was gonna get called. And I literally thought Tyler Reddick, like I thought Tyler Reddick with the weather has been, I thought it would be his race, but in the end, NASCAR, I applaud NASCAR. You gotta give NASCAR credit. In the end, guys, you gotta give NASCAR a ton of credit. They got the race, and actually, the race was longer because we went in overtime, and that led to Christopher Bell, my opinion, the most deserving winner, won it. So you gotta give props to NASCAR for giving the fans something to watch. Really, something really interesting to watch too. So, yeah, I applaud NASCAR 100%. Great job, NASCAR, for trying something new, for trying. I know it's getting close to the playoffs, but it's not bad to try something new. So, yeah. In the playoff standings, um, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the playoff standings because I got the NASCAR app on my phone. So currently Joey Logano is plus 13, and Bubba Wallace is minus 13 below the cut line. He's the first one out with him involving in that wreck. Chase Briscoe, he finished second. Second and third were Stuart Haas Racing teammates. So yeah, Chase Briscoe at one point was like a lap down, like falling maybe even 2 laps down to now finishing second. Great job by Chase Briscoe. And there has been reports, and Christopher Bell leaked this. He looks like he'll be going to the 19 car next year. So what about that? And what else? Josh Berry gets another top 10 finish. He performed well at Iowa, and I gotta say, him and Rodney Childress, man, they performed really well the past few weeks for their standards. So yeah, guys, and the racing has been really good, especially in the dry conditions. Fun to watch, especially at the start of stage three. Like Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson going at it. Oh, that gave me a little bit of anxiety, but um, the racing by them was really hard. I don't see nothing really wrong. It's not like he committed a Pocono last year where he actually put Larson in the wall, even though he did run into him twice. Did run into him, like slid him up. He didn't actually put him in the wall though. So yeah, and man, just so much happened in like 6 hours. I can't even count like how many incidents there were. I know Kyle Busch had an incident under caution, and he DNF'd this race, and he was upset, and I don't blame him with the like I said with the way how he's been performing. Like I said, I don't think he's making the playoffs at this rate. He's trending downwards. So yeah, I don't really like. Sorry, Kyle Busch fans, I just don't see him making the playoffs this year. So with the way how he's been, how with the way how his season has been for him. So yeah, and I don't know how many cautions there were. Like over, I know there were over 10. But I know on the final caution, Michael McDowell sent it in and got into Ryan Blaney. That took both of them out of contention. Blaney was actually one of the top drivers in this race, even in stage three. Literally in stage three was where Ryan Blaney literally came up and was like one of the leaders of this race, and then Michael McDowell drove it in and take both of them out. And gotta talk about another guy, Martin Truex Jr., man. Last week it announced that he'll be retiring at the end of this NASCAR Cup Series season. He'll be stepping away from full-time driving, and he actually did spin out and got caught up in an accident. He did spin out on his own. Well, that was one of the final cautions before we went to the red flag for over 2 hours. And I literally thought after that, when that caution came out in the final couple laps of this race, like in the final, like really in the final 10 laps, I thought this was going to be a race where darkness would win, but NASCAR just tried, and I gotta give credit for that. This race wasn't even shortened, so like I said, give NASCAR a ton of credit for this race, for trying something. And yeah, Truex, he ended up actually his car actually still ended up performing decent despite crashing and spinning out. So yeah, I'm trying to look at the standings to see the race results to see where he finished. Um, I know Denny Hamlin, he ended up finishing 24th. Oh, ninth place for Martin Truex Jr. Like after him literally spinning out and his car having damage. That is amazing for Martin Truex Jr., man. Great bounce back, a top 10 finish. I mentioned Briscoe and Josh Berry. Kyle Larson fourth. And Christopher Bell wins at New Hampshire in dominating fashion, guys. Dominating fashion. So yeah, guys, next up is Nashville, and we'll see how everything goes see how things go next week. So congratulations to Christopher Bell on winning this wild, crazy long uh New Hampshire race. So anyways, this is Preston signing off. Peace out.